and today my topic is Real Message. A few weeks ago, I went to Titan Market, and the card which is very special caught my eye. I asked Alice to take a photo of the card, and now I'm going to show you. Look at this card. What do you see? Yeah, it's a sheep, but it is made of special material. So if you put something hot on it, it will become a wall. Sounds like seeing is believing, but what you saw just now just overthrows this sentence. The shape is actually a wall in a shape's disguise. You can see this is the wall. And there are also some examples in our life. For example, a man a man who looks kind might actually is a bad guy. Next example. Maybe you will be attracted by the beauty online. However, the reality is brutal. Let me show you the real identity. Yeah. And next, message itself can be blurred. And besides this point, there are also some dilemma of reading message. Today I will introduce them from three parts. First, I will introduce the message itself can be blurred, then move on to a difference of personal standpoint. Then we'll talk about the external influence. Next. In the end, I'll tell you what we can do to set such a dilemma, reading message. First, message itself can be blurred. Next. In the movie Rashomon, the statement of the incident varies from different people. We cannot tell which statement is true. Next. And another example is Shi Zi Trio, Su Jianhe Tian. 21 years have passed, but no one is sure about the real situation. Conan said, truth is always only one. I agree with this, but usually we cannot tell the truth so easy from a package of information, since message itself can be blurred. Next. And next we're going to talk about the difference of personal standpoints. We may have different backgrounds such as education, culture, measure, characteristics, and different families. So we may have very different viewpoints. Next. For example, tattoo. Tattoo may be a negative image in many people's eyes. However, for an Aborigine, they might see it as a symbol of nature. Next. Last week, I chatted with Eric, and one thing he mentioned really impressed me a lot. He told me that people from different fields can have very different thoughts. And this is an equation. 100 minus 100 equals to 0. And as for an engineering student, they might minus the number and give you the answer 0. But for an accounting student, they will keep the data for record use. Next. Let's have a test. Look at the picture. How can you see?
Ronald Reagan and a woman.
Who see a woman and who see a man?
I see Ronald Reagan.
Okay. And some of you may see a man, and some of you may see a woman's body, or you can see both of them. That is, we are independent individuals, so we may have very different viewpoints, and what we see varies from person to person. Next. Difference of personal standpoints. Next. External influence. We may be influenced by some other people's words, by mass media and some hard culture. Next. Mass media. This semester, a beautiful anchor, Li Renchen, went to our campus and gave us a speech. He told us like news is not always moral. A piece of information should be perceived before showing up. So sometimes, for some reasons, such as ratings, they might distort the fact, and we might be misled. Next. Hard culture. What's comes to horticulture, which country comes to your mind? Yeah, America. And next. And so when we mention Islamic world, sometimes we will think of the terrorist organization. Sometimes I think our impression of Islamic world is always negative. That's what's going on. I think it's because the main reason is because we are impressed a lot by America, and many countries in Islamic world doesn't follow America's footsteps, so they're angry with them and put some bad impression to us. Next, external influence. Next, we are facing many signals and no's in our lives. Next, and it's such a dilemma of reading messages. I have mentioned the point that I've mentioned just now, and such as we are in a labyrinth. So, next, what can we do? 3 steps. Stop and ask questions and get your own answer. Seeing is not always believing. Be thoughtful for what you see and what you hear, and ask questions. Ask more than 5 questions, and you can get a more clear concept in your mind. And then listen to the words in your mind and get your own answer, not other people's answer. Your answer. Then, if you don't know, next, you can find a way out. Back to TME.